Dudes. Tunes.
And Brews.
And Brews.
We're dudes.
We're dudes.
Listen to tunes.
Listen to tunes.
Drinking some brews.
Drinking some brews.
We're dudes.
We're dudes.
Listening to tunes.
Listening to tunes.
And drinking some brews.
And drinking some brews. Snowboards.
Truffles.
Shuffles.
The truffle shuffle.
Now, when I think of a truffle shuffle, I think of a delicious dance you do right before you eat a
Truffle.
delicious truffle. It's like, ooh, yes. Because it seems like it's a lot of work to get them. They're just like mushroom things, right?
Yeah, they grow certain areas and they're like what, $400 an ounce or something.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's some good stuff.
Truffles. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Needless to say,
They
I've
look
never
like
had them.
shit.
They do. They're little shit balls.
Yeah. They literally
Little
look
shit
like
balls.
shit.
They've probably seen things and they they give you some of that information, maybe that to your tongue. Like, I've seen some things in life that lingers far within the soil. And you're like, oh, yes. And it's very vibrant to your tongue. It's very earthy, I bet.
Yeah.
Have you ever had beets?
Yeah.
It tastes
Like pickled
corn.
beets. Or like what kind of beet? Like a raw beet? Just
Was that
eating
what I ate?
beets?
They're like these little things. They were like cut up in like
Was it
cubes.
soft?
Yeah, it was kind of soft and it tasted
kind of like a pear.
Kind of tasted like corn.
Corn.
It's like earthy.
I think you had pickled beets.
Something.
I don't
good,
like
maybe.
beets.
It wasn't bad. It tasted like
I'm good
like
on
a
them.
basement.
Yeah.
Like some of my favorite foods, you know, like those mushrooms. Like
Basement
those
flavor. You can't substitute that.
No, it's dank, as the kids say.
There we go.
All right.
Speaking of dank, hey, welcome to Dudes, Tunes, and Brews.
Hey, I'm Josh Froman,
I'm Harley Page, Harlow Santana,
and we're here with a special guest tonight,
Shelby Raia.
Raia. Yeah.
Shelby Raia.
Hello. Hi. How are ya?
Yeah, she's a returning guest. We've had a few of those.
Yeah.
Just two now.
Two returning guests.
Two returning guests. Colin Banks Not Hanks.
That's right.
Hashtag. He is the reigning champ, though. He's been on 3 episodes.
I believe so.
Yeah. 3rd episode, it seemed like he was getting a little too comfortable.
Yeah, we had to pitch him for a second.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's acting a little too good for us. And now we're thinking about starting a new hashtag, the tag being Colin Hanks Not Banks. Because we're gonna get Holland Kanks to come in here and replace Ballin' Kanks.
Dude, that's just a bunch of syllables we're throwing together.
I'm speaking another language.
You know when you get a really good idea and you like hold on to it for a day, then you finally look it up to see it's already been done?
And your idea somehow kind of festers a little bit. It's like it doesn't grow bigger. It just kind of like lingers in this toxic corner, waiting for you to discover that it's already been done.
Right.
You're like holding on to this piece of nothing.
I swear I invented the Swiffer wet thing. The one with just like the little Clorox pads.
Yeah.
I was like 10 years old and I was like, it would be so much easier if I could just attach one of these little Clorox wipes to it, and I did it.
Do you like that though? Because I think that's lazy.
Well, I mean, I was 10. You know what I mean?
No, I can't. I think it's a pretty brilliant invention, especially like around corners and
Yeah.
on bases and stuff. But to like do
That
your
was
whole
my
floor, I
idea.
think is a little much. Can't beat an old Kentucky mop, people. It's science.
Kentucky Mop People. That sounds like a really suspenseful book.
There were the wigs of Kentucky.
Kentucky Mop People.
Powdered wigs. No,
Kentucky Mop People.
Kentucky mop people. So you heard it here first, folks. Kentucky String Mop. That's what we're going to call the new group.
Wow.
Yes.
Kentucky.
So how was everybody's week? We don't ever get to do that. We never reminisce about the week. Did you do anything? Anything
I
special?
had a really good week. Really good week. Not really anything in particular. It's just good, you know?
I had a decent week.
That's always good. That's always good. Some good weeks out there, everybody.
Glad that's been recognized.
Oh, I mean, nobody asked about my week. So,
Well, how was your week?
Oh, it was okay. It was pretty good.
Great story, Josh.
I went from there to here, and so that's a big deal. I'm pretty glad. I made some videos. That was good.
Yeah, I made some videos.
Did a little bit of editing for the Dudes, Tunes, and Brews promo packaging. We can call it that. It's just an excuse to make silly videos.
Yeah. Just a creative dump now.
It's a creative dump of fun. We're on episode 10.
That's a dude's dozen.
It's a dude's dozen. 10 episodes. So I think this is cool, you know?
Yeah.
And to be able to have an excuse to make videos and have people over and drink beer and watch movies on the wall.
Yeah,
Hell
we're doing
yeah.
that tonight.
Yeah, thanks YouTube. So if anybody else wants to join us while you're watching this episode, right now you could be watching Freaked with us while they are in the board meeting. He just gave a thumbs up, so sync it up right there, folks. We'll be watching the movie with us.
Freaked, yeah, 1993.
93.
Yeah, 93.
93, what were you doing in 93, Shelby?
Shitting in diapers.
Me
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I was 8 years old. I shouldn't have been doing it, but you know.
Well, I was 2. I hope I wasn't
Yeah.
shitting in diapers still, actually.
You get a little bit more of an excuse on that, obviously. Me, on the other hand, still going to therapy for it.
Anyways, what album we got going on for tonight?
The album tonight, since I intervened, we were going to play Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell, which was across the board we all agreed upon. But since we only do hard copies of things, that album was very quiet.
Yeah,
It wasn't
it was
picking
mixed
up.
very low.
Not sure the situation on that. So as our replacement, Plan B, we have gone with Marcy Playground, self-titled.
Oh, we're not gonna play this yet. We're just telling them what we got.
Oh, I'm so far ahead of this.
We're gonna
Dude's
crack these
dozen.
beers.
I'm so excited about this album, folks, that I was out of my post for a minute. Actually, I had to scratch my ass.
My ass.
Yes. So, yeah, the beer tonight was brought to us by Shelby.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Shelby.
Three Floyds.
We got Three Floyds. Tell us a little bit about this brew.
I don't really know anything about it.
Okay,
I just
you're with me.
was kind of just going on a whim.
On a
you
whim,
know?
wanted to try it?
Yeah,
the,
it's an American Pale Ale, which is really out of the norm for me.
You typically an India Pale Ale type?
No.
What do you normally like?
I'm kind of like, I like just Belgian, like, wheat ales. Like,
Yeah, I
it's so
can
it's
dig it.
really out of the,
Yeah, the North
realm
food
for
was
me,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And it's the Space Station
Yeah, and it
Middle
said
Finger.
middle finger, and I was like, I feel like we should buy this with
Yeah,
my
yeah. I mean, it's got
middle fingers
rebellious
up.
qualities. It's got sci-fi qualities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's check this out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna distribute these brews here.
Oh, they're very cold. Very cold.
Y'all want to try the mugs out? We have the frozen mugs. I
These
actually
mugs?
prepped ahead. Do you want to be the popper?
John Popper?
John Popper. How do you feel about him?
I like John Popper, but like most fat guys who lose weight, I feel like they were better when they were fat.
For more of the comedic value, or for the hugs?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both.
I think I have to agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, as a fat guy, you have to have a good hug. Like, that's a requisite of being a fat guy.
That's how you get friends that are
Pretty
opposite
much.
sex.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course I'm gonna hug him. He gives good hugs.
Right? When they said hugs, not drugs, it was me they were talking about.
Quite literally. Ooh, we got some little bit of action here. I'm going with the old can
Pop
opener.
it open there.
Yes.
Ooh, these mugs are super frosty. This is gonna be nice.
Mm-hmm. That's me agreeing. Look at that head. Oh, it's coming to. Looks like a nice frothy, almost like a cream soda almost. A very
It smells very nice in that icy cup.
You know, we might as well put both brews in this glass while it's cold. Considering the size of the glass.
Think so?
Anyone saying against it? 2 brews in 1 cup?
Two brews, 1 cup.
Oh, Lord.
All right, yo.
All right, this is Deuce
Just
Tunes and Brews
really
first.
getting frisky
We're
tonight.
opening both beers at the same time here. Putting them in the cups. Icy mugs. Utilizing, maximizing all that coldness of that glass mug.
Frost.
Its thermal characteristics will help our beer stay colder longer.
And And this is a pint, right? Is this what this would be? What would we call this? How big is this?
This is a
cup?
24 ouncer.
So is it what's the lingo on a 24 ouncer?
A tall, I guess, or big one.
It's a big one.
Yeah, a big one.
No, we like.
I had a big one beer at the Mexican restaurant the other night.
Which
He was
place?
like, "You want a beer?" I said, "Yeah, a big one."
I'll take the big one. He said, "All right."
You know, it's just something you do unconsciously. You call it the big one.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a picture of it for the people at home to see how frothy it is. I'm very impressed with the look of it.
It does look nice. It smells nice.
God, it took my breath away. I just went to take a big chug. Could not swallow. Wow, it is very delicious.
It is.
It's
It's hoppy.
quick. It's very,
Hoppy.
very, very hoppy.
It is really hoppy.
Yeah, do not drink it like a light beer, folks.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
It's tastes good though. I mean,
Very delicious. Very good. Yeah, it's hoppy, but it's not too. I would
It's
say it's
really
very
pretty.
It's not very bitter.
It's kind of bitter.
But I've been getting I think I've been getting more of a palate for them the more that we've been testing these brews, to where I taste them more on the back of the tongue and less on the front. To where I think there's a lot of other things
It
I've
has
tasted.
like a middle taste to it. Like it's like there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. You know what
You
I
got
mean?
and that middle part's where the citrusy part comes out,
Mhm,
but it's
yeah.
not too vibrant. It's
Right.
I can't really choose. Some beers seem to go more grapefruit. Others go more of like a tangerine orangish
Right.
kind of feel. This kind of ish to the grapefruit side, but still staying kind of
Yeah,
neutral.
I can see that, especially like exhale on the exhale.
Yeah, it's a good brew. It's going to be a little deceptive now that we have both of them in one glass. Once again, a Dudes, Tunes, and Brews first. Can I get a old cheers on that one, y'all? All right. And now may I go ahead and start the
what the hell happened to your voice?
Marcy Playground album. All
Let's
right.
go. Let's go ahead and let's do that. Yeah, it's got a very, very strong aftertaste. I can't put my finger on it though. All right.
Track number 1, Poppies. I think this song is inspired by the flowers.
Okay.
I think he really liked the colors yellow, red, and white.
That's either true or it's false.
You be the judge. Tell us at dudestunesandbrews@gmail.com if you think that I'm lying. But let me tell you, brother, I am not lying. These flowers are quite abundant.
I'm like grooving in my seat already. Marcy Playground studio album, debut album, released February 25th, 1997.
97.
Is that a leap year?
No, I believe all leap years are even
Are
years.
they?
Yes.
I don't know.
I believe
Let's
last
go to
was
the man.
16. I could be wrong. It'd be funny if they were always the year of the election or something crazy like that.
Right.
That's when we're the lizard people are closest.
What was it, 97?
1997. That's during the Monica Lewinsky scandal. That was a big time, folks, before the internet.
If a year is divisible by 400, then it is a leap year.
400?
Whoa.
So 1996 was a leap year,
2000.
but 97, 98, 99 were not.
It's every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
Yeah,
So it is
2000.
It's always an even number.
It's always an even number.
16. So it's always the year of the election. It's kind of the correlation. I never knew that. Now we
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
So all you
And
political
if you
fans
don't
out there,
know, now you know.
yeah, if you don't know, now you know, you know.
You
Yeah.
know, you know.
You know, you know.
Education brought to you by Life.
Life brought to you by Biggie Smalls.
Let's see here.
Big Ear Tupac, go.
Biggie.
Big Ear Tupac, go.
I have no preference.
No preference? No, what do you mean? You've
I
listened
know
to
more
them both.
Biggie
I know this
than
guy's
Tupac.
probably listened to them front and back.
Yeah.
You're not gonna lie to me.
I mean,
It's kind of a tough call
It
because
is.
Tupac for me originally because my brother is kind of one of those trickle down things. You know, he influenced me I liked what he was into. But then as I got older, it was like Biggie. I was a little more curious about because of Diddy, the whole like Puff Daddy thing coming out. It was like, who's this guy? Who's this clown? You know, how's he getting all these songs and talking about Notorious B.I.G. dying and shit? Then I find out that Biggie was actually he was the producer of Biggie's music and stuff. So that's why the more I go back and listen, you hear him in the background talking and adding stuff to the tracks and stuff like that. Like he helped do the music that Biggie was rapping over and stuff. So he was a big part of it. But back to that, I like a lot of his beats and stuff. I think they were pretty good at the time. Like some of the music was pretty neat how they did it. And the more that we play with music, just playing around and goofing, the more that I appreciate hip hop and electronic music so much more for samples and like sampling your own sounds and loops and just freeform with all music. Back in the day, if it wasn't just guitar, drums, and vocals, people were like, that ain't music.
Right.
It's freaking music, man.
There's still people out there who think that.
There are, yeah. And I guess that's, it's subjective, but, if a musician understands,
Yeah.
and anyone with the creative mind understands,
I used to be like, electronic crap.
Right,
But-
because it's just the computer.
Yeah.
It's just.
But then I started experimenting with it, and it is fun. But you can use it like seriously if you want. But I use it for satire and shit.
Yeah, which is still, it's music. We appreciate satire, though.
Yeah.
Because we see the craftsmanship behind it. A lot of people dismiss the actual talent and craftsmanship behind satire and comedy and things. They just think that these clowns are just making it's so easy for them. But isn't that the talent in itself? Is to make it look easy. So they're really the winners.
I guess so.
And Weird Al, man, love him so much.
Turns out my little nephew is now into Weird Al.
Really? And he's how old?
9, I think.
Isn't that awesome? It's still timeless. Kids are still picking it up.
I'm gonna send him all of my old Weird Al CDs.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Still got them.
Do you think he'll be confused at what they are?
Could be.
What are these discs?
Was this from the Civil War?
Oh man, I don't even know anymore.
We were pretending to hold CDs just now. to
For the people
visualize
at
it.
home, yes, CDs, compact discs.
That's right.
What was your first CD you ever owned, Shelby?
Spice Girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very first album. Yeah, I was in first grade and I got an A on my very first spelling test and my mom bought me that album. And it was awesome. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. It was
What was
my
your
very
favorite
first CD.
song?
Oh, I don't know. Probably Wannabe, honestly, because it was on the radio so much and I was very,
That's the right answer.
Yeah, okay.
No, I don't know the album that well. I remember the singles. Do you remember the singles, Harley?
From what?
From the Spice Girls
Wannabe,
album?
Yeah.
It's kinda,
Probably, I don't know.
if you want to be my lover, To
Wannabe,
Become One.
To Become One.
Don't remember that
Mama.
one. Don't remember that one.
I don't know. I feel like there was one more, but who knows? It was a big deal.
Who Do You Think You Are, I think is another one on that album.
We'll have to find that out later on in the episode.
Yeah.
If you know all the singles from the Spice Girls album. No, you, Harley, what was your first album?
My
And
first
why?
album, my first compact disc.
Compact disc. We should rephrase that.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I went to a concert at some low-key place, and the dude playing, handed out CDs.
You say Loki?
Low-key. Some low-key place.
So your first CD was actually like a locally pressed.
It was a Jimmy Reiser album.
Jimmy Reiser being.
He's some, local dude, I guess.
So it was a locally made
local
album.
dude, I
That's
guess.
pretty cool. And what did you think about it?
I never listened to it because, no, we didn't have a CD player. It was back when it was still, poor.
Transitioning.
Yeah.
Where CD players were actually like a commodity.
Yeah, they were
Right.
a thing.
You had a portable CD player, and you were like,
So I hung on to that CD for a while and never listened to it.
how long is a while?
I don't remember. It's one of those things you lose in the course of a lifetime.
Did you have it in like a shoebox of memories?
No, it was probably just like in a box or in a corner of a closet somewhere,
Very cool.
getting neglected. And
So back to that album. So then what happened next? When did you actually get one that you put inside of a CD player? Like de-virginized yourself? Like you were like, is this okay? And the CD player's like, yeah, this is fine. And you open opened it up and you put the CD in there and you press play.
I don't
and
exactly
you made love
remember.
to your eardrums.
I don't exactly remember.
You don't remember, but you remember the one that got away.
Right. I'll always remember the one that got
The
away.
one that got away.
Jimmy Reiser, that one album.
Jimmy Reiser. So have you looked him up?
No.
We might have to have him on the program sometime.
Have you looked up Jimmy Reiser?
No, I looked at Paul Reiser the other day.
I saw his book at a book thing we went to today.
Really? He's looking great. He's one of those people.
I guess.
He's one of those people that's kind of grown into his own with like the gray hair and getting old. He was on Stranger Things season 2. Paul Reiser was the doctor that kind of seems like a jerk, but then he ends up being like a not jerk.
Still haven't watched it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Pretty good. The first one was a quick cultural phenomenon,
Yeah.
and that kind of both killed it and made it awesome, I think, because it was like cool that everybody was agreeing upon this season being like a pretty cool show. The thing is about Stranger Things for me was it was pre the movie It that just came out last October. I read the book It back in '96, and it's here in my brain. That book was a very big deal when I read it because it's a very cool coming of age, just awesome book. Nothing like the movie that was ever put out or either films, basically. And when Stranger Things came out, I looked at my now ex-wife. I looked at her and said, "Holy shit, that's it! That's it done with an alien, other dimensional type monster, but with the same kind of deal with this coming of age story thing happening." And then I find out a few months later that It is going to be made and come out. Long story short, the writers who originally started working on Stranger Things had backed out and created It. And then these other people went and did the whole It thing. Well, the guys that were originally working on, or it's vice versa, the original ones that were working on the It project went to Stranger Things, I believe, the Duffer Brothers. They had somehow, with contracts, had agreed upon one of the actors that's in Stranger Things to be in the project as well. The one who plays Mikey in Stranger Things is also in It. So there's actually this correlation between the two. And when I found that out later, it was kind of interesting to me that both stories were so similar, but they had the same kind of people working on both films. So it's pretty cool. But Stranger Things is cool. And
Yeah,
you get a chance to watch the first season.
Like I'm like set to watch it, but I just every time I go to watch it, it's like I'm so exhausted.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
just want to like be in the moment, like able to watch it. You
I
know
think
what
it's
I mean?
like 8 episodes maybe, so it's the first 8 or 10 episodes. The first one's relatively small.
Yeah.
And I think they made it slightly larger in the second season. But like most things, it got a little overhyped with the first season. So by the time they got to the second season, they're trying to,
Right.
and it was just, it was almost like they opened it up too much at the end for season 3, where season 1 was like, you totally could end it right here and still have a lot of questions.
Right.
And it's very open for a sequel, but 2 is too obvious with it, so that's what killed the deal for me. So.
I love the new It. I can't wait for the new one to come out.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
For a Hollywood film version of the book.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, of course. I mean, there's some things in the book, though, that you probably couldn't.
The thing is about that book, and it's like 1,300 pages.
Right.
It's very prolific. It's huge. It's a lot of rants and crazy thoughts, and there's some pretty taboo stuff that happens toward the end, to where to put that on screen for a commercial audience, you have to package it like a horror film. That book is not a horror book. It's a psychological coming-of-age story. So that's the problem right there right away, is they're trying to base it on Pennywise the Clown,
Right.
who is just a backdrop of a character to these kids that are misfits in the real-world scenarios, like people who are threatening their lives, literally, and also dealing with this supernatural thing that's killing off people every 27 years and trying to live and grow and be quote-unquote normal in society.
Right.
So it's a very out there, like, kind of story, and it's just hard for people to pick up on unless you pick up the book and read it.
Right.
But there's some stuff in there that will never be on screen, ever. One of those being at the end of spoiler alert for those who haven't read the book, but there's this part in the book where the boys, there's 7 of them in this club, one of them being a girl, 6 of them boys. And at the end of it, after defeating it for the first time, they perform this ritualistic gangbang, if you will,
Yeah,
on this 12 or 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And it's in the book, written out, all black and white, and it's kind of one of those super, like, controversial things. It's
Right.
like, you could never put that on screen.
No.
Ever.
Not
whatsoever.
enough people look outside of the box enough.
Yeah, and
You
that's
know
a
what I
big
mean?
deal. Like, I get the idea of where King was coming with, like, a carnal, outside of society
Right.
thing, whatever he's going with that.
Right.
I always thought in my head, why don't they just do a blood brothers ceremony? Cut your hand, touch blood. It's
Which is what they did at the
that's exactly what they did in the Hollywood film, and I was like, oh, okay, they picked up on that
Kinda,
as well.
yeah.
The same ideas, they're the same general thing. But here's the thing, Harley, you like to edit things. I give you this manuscript. You're reading through it. You see this moment in there. That's what I just stated.
Mm-hmm.
You say to me,
I still know, bro.
dude! That's all you have to say. Dude! Like, oh yeah, you don't think that's like, I'm just trying to say that it's like carnal and like animalistic and ritualistic. And you're like, yeah, I get that. But you could say it like this and not ruin the other 1,200 pages of your book, bro. Just snip that little 2-page moment where you could probably get put in jail for that.
Yeah.
But you know, freedom of speech and y'all. But I mean, like I said, it's one of those deals, but it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It.
Find it at your local Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
Right. I heard some snippet the other day that there's some conspiracy now that Stephen King somehow killed John Lennon.
What?
I have not looked it up.
Far-fetched.
Either I saw it somewhere or I dreamed it. Okay, I'm gonna look up Stephen King and John Lennon. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you know, I heard also, you want to hear something I heard? That Stephen King is John Lennon. Yeah, that's what I heard. That's right. You heard it here first, folks. Yep. Why do you think they both wear glasses? Did you really, you never heard of, nah, I can't say that. I was going to say you never heard of Stephen King until after John Lennon, but Carrie was in the 70s.
What's some conspiracy out there? I don't want to get too deep into it because I don't want to do a bunch of research right now.
Well, we actually are the ones who help, you know, enlighten a lot of people about the conspiracies here on Dudes, Tunes, and Brews. You've heard it first about the Baja Man conspiracy?
Yes, the Baja Man. You've heard it first about the proper ghost trilogy.
The proper
conspiracy.
Conspiracy. And what else are we talking about here? And now we're talking about the Stephen King, John Lennon conspiracy, which you can hashtag DTB John Lennon, Stephen King.
We don't know anything about this stuff, man.
No, but
Nothing.
the thread is open now, brah.
I guess so. If
They're
you
gonna
know.
go on there and they're gonna tell us what they think about it.
There we go.
If you know, send it to.
dudestunesandbrews@gmail.com. Today's weather forecast, 73 degrees,
And
80% humidity.
And rain.
partially cloudy with a chance of rain.
There's some wind in parts, other parts not so much. You ever walk around a corner and get hit with a blast of wind?
Uh-huh.
Drop your soup, curse a cloud? Well, folks, I have. And if you want that kind of soup insurance that we're selling, well, you're going to have to be part of our elite group of soup salesmen. Would you sell soup out of a suitcase, or do you call it a
It
suitcase?
depends. Are we talking full or like condensed policies?
Thank y'all, funny people. Condensed. He said it. He said it. Did you hear it?
They did.
Oh man, condensed or concentrate? What's the difference? What
Trying to remember.
is there a difference between condensed and concentrate?
Condensed?
Probably.
Yeah,
Go to
condensed
math.
is taking like all of it and
Shoving it down, and a concentrate is like taking it and just
making it
Concentrating it.
Concentrated versus condensed. What's the difference?
What's the difference?
Concentrated and condensed is that concentrated is not dilute, having a high concentration, while condensed is the state of having been condensed, highly concentrated.
Wait. It's been concentrated. So condensed is concentrated. Is it like a square? A rectangle is a square. I mean, a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square kind of thing?
Like, all thumbs are fingers, but all fingers are thumbs.
Exactly. Wow, condensed and concentrated. You heard it here first, folks. So how are you feeling about this Marcy Playground? Is this your first time listening through it?
I guess to this whole album, yeah.
When was the first time you realized that this band ruled? I have to say that was 2003 for me. I was given this album only knowing of Sex and Candy and what is it? St. Joe on the School Bus. Is that the name of that track? Give me that album.
I don't have it. I ain't got it, bro.
St. Joe, I believe is the name of that track, though. That was their second single that I was aware of. But I think they also released Shelby Raia, which is an awesome.
Yeah, that was a pretty big single.
But I was given a stack of CDs from a cousin of mine for doing a small favor. Lord knows what I did, you know. She's like, here's 10 CDs that I have that I don't really want.
Just trying to revive the Columbia Record Club, dude.
I think that makes a lot of sense now.
Right?
The Columbia Club conspiracy.
Yeah. You're gonna start getting stamps again. Those little CD stamps.
I can't wait. Columbia House, revitalize.
Right.
Bring it back from the dead.
Were you Columbia House?
Never did it? PMG?
Yeah, they were mail order album things. It was kind of like Publisher Clearinghouse, but it was like CDs.
Oh, did you get like a little catalog?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Like you went through and
Get one
I
CD
did that
for
one time, but
99
I signed it
cents.
up under my parents' name without them knowing.
I think they know it now, people. Oh.
Yeah.
But my dad did find out about it, and he was like, "You can't be doing this." And then he still let me get like the CDs and stuff, and it was really cool.
You can't be doing this. You gotta get these CDs. These are the
My
good
dad
ones.
was super bad
Make
about
sure
music
you
growing up.
Yeah, get the Steely Dan from '79. What's your problem?
Right.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
But the thing was like 12 CDs for the price of one. I remember I got the Rob Zombie Hellbilly Deluxe.
I had that one.
Did you get the DVD with it?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Oh, they had a thing where it was like the past, present, future thing. I think it came out like 02. It was like the last thing that I took from them. They could use the internet to their gain. It's the same deal.
People still get magazines.
Yeah, I'd sometimes accidentally get them.
Right.
I guess I keep signing up for Women's Health. But my cholesterol's good.
I don't know what I bought. I think I bought something from like FYE, and now I'm getting like 17 magazine every month, and I'm like, I don't even know how to cancel this shit right now.
Yeah, that's the hardest. They make canceling a chore.
Yeah.
Like there was this pornographic site that gave you a full free week, right? You know, and I'm just hanging out doing what adults do, and I click it. I go for a full free week, and somehow, I guess I put my credit card in there, and they charged me for a month. And I was like, oh, shoot. So I go and I look at how much they charged me. It was like $10. And I was like, I think I can handle this. So now I'm a premium member. So that's my life.
Congratulations. Same thing happened to me one time on Ancestry.com.
Really?
That's a little more discovering yourself. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
So what'd you find out about yourself? Benjamin Franklin was his hero.
Right.
But not a relative.
Yeah. No, it was not. I don't think there's even a Benjamin Franklin page or anything.
There isn't one now either.
No.
He's the most hated non-president of all time.
Benjamin Franklin?
Yeah, nobody likes Benjamin Franklin.
Really?
No, of course people love Benjamin Franklin. That dude could party and do math.
He's the punctual plumber.
Yeah,
Right.
If there's any delay, you know,
I've never heard.
Paid.
Have you ever heard a negative thing about Benjamin Franklin?
No.
Like, that's one of those things you want to dig up dirt on him. I don't know what he did to him.
All right.
He's probably like a real jerk. You know? Like, oh, Benny, Did you see what he did? He called Maurice fat. that guy's a tubby. He didn't invent the idea of electricity, kinda. I guess through a kite. I don't know.
And a key.
And some keys and a mouse.
Yeah.
The mouse that climbed up there and put the keys up there.
Right. Right.
Yeah, dude. That's how he did it. Did you see that movie Ben and Me? When we were kids with the mouse and Benjamin Franklin.
No.
Oh, it's just from the narrative of the mouse. And he hung out with Benjamin Franklin, and then you saw how he like created bifocals and like electricity and all that.
Oh, so it's kind of like Mario was missing. It's like a learning thing disguised not to be a learning thing.
Yeah, Mario's Missing is the worst game ever.
Right?
Oh, you said you were a Sony person growing up.
Yeah.
So you were Sony like PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation.
Not the Sony
Sega,
like pre-PlayStation thing.
No, we had a Sega, and that was my favorite. And then my parents got rid of it for some reason, and then they got like a PlayStation, you know, and Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, stuff like that is what we ended up like growing up on. But me and my little brother played like Altered Beast, Subterranea, Primal Rage, Street Fighter 2, all on Sega growing up, and then our parents got rid of it for some reason. And
So is like Crash Bandicoot like a popular furry character? Seems like he'd be like a handsome one there. He's got a big smile.
I played. You said Crash Bandicoot, right?
Yeah.
I played Crash Bandicoot for the first time the other day.
First time the other day?
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is big, dude.
I
like
bought
PlayStation or like PS4 remastered?
It's like it was like the Game Boy Advance version.
Game Boy Advance? You have a Game Boy Advance?
No, I do not. I bought this Chinese video game unit.
Off of Wish.com?
Yeah, off Wish.com.
Like,
It was like $40.
It's totally worth it though. Like I bought some junk. Computerized.
Why are you whispering?
Because I don't want to get them mad. I don't want to get them mad that I spent $10 and I thought it was gonna catch on fire. But I got to play. It's one of the few times I got to play Contra, the original Contra.
Contra, yes.
But anywho, yours was like $40. His is totally worth it. The controller is like a what? PlayStation.
It's like a
controller.
PlayStation controller, but it's got the Game Boy Advance. It's got a Neo Geo, which is like Capcom, like arcade style games, and then it's got
Neo Geo was its own
yeah,
game system.
I
Like
guess
Neo
so.
Geo Pocket.
Something I don't remember, but then Game Boy Advance, regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and some Sega titles. And it's like 600 games. A lot of them are just filler bullshit that you know only came on like Hyundai personal laptops in '98.
Here's the deal about gaming systems that blow my mind. Like you say, Neo Geo. When we in the '90s, there were so many potential ones that were like kind of startups, and then these bigger companies bought up that idea and then just kind of seized them. Like Atari kept trying, man.
Yeah.
They were like, we're going, man. It's like '96, I believe it was. They put out the Jaguar. Their controller had like 26 buttons on it.
Jesus.
And people are like, you're an idiot. This is so stupid. But it was like, it was too over the top, obviously. But some of those games are like, you can only find on that system, and they're really awesome games that, luckily now in the world of emulators, you can pull onto like, Chintzy.
I haven't tried to see if I could plug into that Chintzy one yet.
Why could you not?
I mean, it's just, yeah.
I mean, Nintendo's was able to be...
Yeah, it never happened.
I mean, from the internet things that I've read, the threads, people are saying that they took their Nintendo systems, plugged them into a computer, cracked open that walnut, and said, I'm going to put what I want on your hard drive.
That's true, because the Super Nintendo, when it was reissued, the Mini, they had like 21 games or something, and the hard drive had 300 megabytes on it.
What it had,
but it only had like 80 megabytes on it.
Here's the Nintendo conspiracy. I'm throwing it out there. They did it on purpose. You don't put that much memory on a system and only fill like a 16th of it. They could have totally condensed that down if they wanted to. They made that bad boy completely open-ended because they knew it was going to be on the market for a season or two. People were going to buy it up like crazy, and then they were going to do with it what they wanted to. It's no different than like a tablet or something.
That's true.
They'll come up with something in a few years. I mean, it's only a matter of time until they do the N64.
Dude, I can't wait for that one. They better have GoldenEye on that son of a bitch.
Dude, if they don't have GoldenEye on that,
It won't sell.
Not only will it not sell,
You ain't gonna sell that shit without that fucking shooting up game.
not only will it not sell, I'm telling you this much. I probably am going to get a bomb shelter because there will be riots. I guarantee it.
Though there will be.
There would be riots if they put out an N64 Deluxe model.
Deluxe.
You know what were they? The classics. Is what they're
The classic mini.
You didn't put GoldenEye on there, or Mario Kart.
And they have to have the original controllers. There's no doubt about that.
Those are all like standard. If they don't do that, people are gonna get mad. Like it's nerd rage, World War III style, dude. I think that
That's
people
the
would,
worst
like,
kind.
Yeah,
Right.
that's terrible.
It's the
So I
worst
think that
kind.
Nintendo's gonna do what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna put it out there. They're gonna shake it a
Nintendo's
little
pretty
bit.
good about that, though.
Yeah, Nintendo's good about it. They were jerks about the Nintendo Classic, the NES Classic.
Mm-hmm.
They put like 3 a store,
Didn't only come like with one controller.
1 controller, and it was what $69.99 or whatever.
Yeah, it was high.
Or $59.99. It was $60. I remember.
Really?
You
And
must have
I-
got a sale price.
I want to look that up because I'm pretty sure when it came out it wasn't too bad. And the deal with that was, as soon as they put them out, supply and demand was like
Yeah.
ridiculous because everybody wants
For like you can still find them in the box right now for a stupid price. Like people just hoarded them and like sold them for stupid amounts of money. Like then the Super Nintendo Mini came out and the same thing. Markets flooded with because everyone's snatching them up. And
difference between the two is I got a Super Nintendo Mini pretty much okay. When I went to the Walmart over here, I'd waited like 2 or 3 months. They had 2 or 3 more in there.
When did they come out? Like September or November of that year?
I think it was November because it was pushing around the big deal sales time.
So it comes out at Christmas or November. I sat on it for a while, and then the day after Christmas, I went out to find one. I was like, well, people are gonna be winding down now, and I actually found one like right down the road from the house at a GameStop for a retail price instead of them scalping sons of bitches. Great story.
Great story, my friend. And here it is, $59.99, and supposedly you can get one at Target right now.
Really?
So here's the deal with that is resale
You
value.
know what else you can get at Target right now? Slushies.
Everything?
Ices.
Ooh, really?
What's your favorite?
I like to mix cherry and Coke.
Cherry Coke.
But I had one the other day with strawberry lemonade. Pretty
First of all,
goddamn good.
How can you ruin that?
I like the white cherry one.
That's what I was gonna say. Where
With
do you
the
find
bone.
that? Where do you find white cherry?
Meyer.
That's like, there you go. That's
You
like
don't
an
see the white
airhead.
cherry in many places
Meyer.
anymore. That used to be the one that you would see white cherry and blue.
White cherry.
I remember the only place you could get an icy growing up in Franklin was at the original Walmart, like
The original Walmart, dude, which was across the street
from Marsh.
from Marsh, yeah.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Walmart, before it was a Walmart, was an Ames.
Wow, AIMES.
AMES. Ames was like the first super department store, like
I knew there's an
Walmart.
E in it, but I
Yeah.
overshot it.
It was like the 80s and early 90s was Ames, and they got so big for their britches they couldn't, they just exploded.
Franklin, Indiana, folks, home of the Art Craft Theater.
But Ames was huge. It was everywhere. I vaguely remember going to an Ames when I was a child in Franklin.
See, I loved Franklin as a kid. I
It
lived
was
there
great when we were
between
kids,
90 and
when
93.
we didn't know about all that cancer.
Well, I probably have it now, looking in hindsight. Didn't they say 30 years? We were down there
Something
drinking
like
that
that.
same water, dude. I was swimming in that water. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's like finding out you have hepatitis when you're 76.
Oh.
You're like, Dad, Goodman, I got all the shots for all the other ones. What's his hepatitis H? His H redone it to me. I'm going back to cool mines. Because that's what happens when you find out you have hepatitis. You go to the mines.
Go to the mines.
You heard it here first, folks.
Let's go to the phone mines. We're taking calls.
The phone mines.
Of New York.
Of New York. This is actually the last freaking track.
So how short is this stupid album?
Let's see. Every song is like no more than 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
36 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, by me saying stupid album, I meant that in a very not stupid
Yeah, way
fashion.
to be a dick, bro.
Because I'll go ahead and rate this album, dog. I'll rate it.
Rate the album.
I'll rate it a perfect 5, BREWS. Because I love this album so much, it's in my top 5.
I'll give it a.
of all time. I love this album. Played at my funeral.
I will give it 4 brews. Just for the fact that I'm tired of a couple of singles like Sex and Candy. Who cares?
That was kind of their FU. That was their middle finger back to the beer, by the way. That was their total middle finger to the radio company because they're like, you gotta have a hit. You gotta put out a single. And they're like, all right. And like, Sex and Candy, that sells. And they just put out that song. It doesn't make any sense.
Because sex sells and candy sells.
Right.
Yeah. So that was the whole thing. It was basically a total fuck you single.
Gotcha.
So it makes me like it even more.
Their album MP3 was really good. It was their 3rd record.
It's very rock and roll.
Yeah, it's got a real heavy rock sound.
My personal favorite is the follow-up to this one, which is Shapeshifter, and that's kind of like a good. The two together are hand in hand. It's like one. It's like a 2-disc album, really. If you put the two.
Number 3 was like their super polished one, like.
I think it was him walking away from the 2-album set kind of deal, doing another album where he was like, "All right, I'm a rock star." It's the 2000s. I mean, what a tough time to be a rock star. Like we said, electronics.
Yeah.
We've come to terms with it. I'm a grunge kid. You're a total like 70s, 80s. 60s. We're not going there, but we love music.
Yeah.
But you're like classic rock. I like the grunge rock, which is kind of the antithesis of the classic rock. But now they're a combined version of the two.
Can I ask you to define that word for me?
No word.
Antithesis.
It's kind of like the it's like the evolved opposite kind of deal. Is what kind of I get from it.
I
Kinda
see
like,
you.
The antithesis is the flowering period of a plant from the opening of the flower bud.
Same difference.
Potato, right?
Yeah. That's the word of the day. Now,
Did I spell it right?
antithesis. That's what I used to call it. And I found out that I was saying it wrong, and now I'm finding out that maybe I wasn't. All I'm saying was it was like the anti-hero of classic rock. It's totally still part of that spectrum, but it's like the evolved growth, changing of it. But in hindsight, it's all the same.
Right.
It seems so new and fresh. They're like, oh, grunge rock is killing classic rock. And then now it's like, no, grunge rock was just an extension of classic rock.
Right.
But that's kind of what the deal is with that. Yeah. So, yeah, it's like a budding of a plant that was already established. And then, like, growing into, like, a new tumor of, like, fun. Excitement. But the real deal is, what's up with all those 90s band artists dying? Like, all the lead singers.
Bad choices?
Yeah, it's like the 90s was so like that they was like stressed, dude.
That's where everybody's anxiety came from, was the 90s.
Yeah, like everybody was so mad, and then like now they're dead.
And now everyone else is mad.
And everybody else is mad, but for the different reasons.
Right.
So who knows, man?
I'm still pissed there aren't adult-sized snack packs.
Like
Yeah.
Pudding cup?
Like, I'm not-
Pudding cup.
Yeah, we're not talking
pudding.
for a double pudding. We're talking 1.28.
No, I'm talking like you put 2 of them sons of bitches like
Oh,
a baby
man.
food jar. Like baby food
They
jar
came
is
out
like
with
huge.
like the adult Capri Suns.
Did they?
Yeah, they were like the bigger, like Capri Sun Max.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
That is
rough.
rough.
It needs to
Yeah,
come
they were
in like
bigger.
a gallon
That's like
jug.
McDonald's Mighty Kids meat.
Yeah, you get 6 nuggets now, kid. That's cool. And I still get a toy. This is all right.
Yeah, we'll still give you one.
Yeah, all right.
That's like, yeah, I'll give you some candy. It's Halloween, but you really shouldn't be here.
Yeah, this is November 2nd.
We
Right?
really shouldn't be here. Oh, fuck.
Listen, kid. I got something to tell you. I ain't supposed to come out here, and you ain't supposed to come in here. Take the candy and leave. Like, what happens? Nobody ever talks about that. What? So you just don't turn your porch light on? Like, say you're
That's what they say.
you're a predator of sorts, right? And you're supposed to stay from the children, but they let you live in certain spots if you do whatever you're supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. I don't know anything about it.
Right.
I know what Hollywood's told me on the television. Now, it's trick-or-treating season. Here come the kids knocking on your door. Are you allowed to give them candy?
I don't think so.
I don't think you're.
I don't
No
think you
way.
can have any interaction
Dude.
with them at all.
That's what I'm curious. Like, because if you go on the website right now and see who like all the predators are, They're everywhere.
Have you ever done that, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like
Chrysler Building.
Christmas lights.
Wow.
And so, like, they're totally everywhere. Totally everywhere to spots of, like, any American neighborhood ever.
Yeah.
But I just wonder if they just can't participate.
I'm gonna assume that they can't.
Yeah.
Otherwise. But, it's like one of those things, like, why would you take the risk, So, I just love giving kids candy so much. I gotta give them sweethearts. It's like, no, Byron, you're not supposed to. Ooh, Ma, I've changed.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say probably no.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a hard no on
Yeah.
that.
Hard no.
A hard no.
So we looks like we've all finished the large mug of double brews.
I finished it quite well. All I've eaten is vegetables.
Yeah, I walked in here tonight in Studio A and it smells like farts in here.
Best foods smell like they farted.
It was really good.
God, it smelled like farts.
It was just vegetables and rice.
Well, it was mostly broccoli. Broccoli's what probably smells like
Cauliflower. No,
farts.
there was a good mix of everything. in
Yeah,
there.
it was for the people at home. It started out with me chopping up some garlic. Then I chopped up some carrots, real fine, and then the Brussels sprouts, shiitake mushrooms, cauliflower, broccoli.
Very good. And for lunch,
Didn't
lunch,
you put,
lunch,
like,
dinner.
squash in there too?
And yellow squash,
Uh-huh.
which is what inspired the whole dish. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you're
Yellow
Shelby.
very
squash.
welcome.
Very nice.
Somebody had put it on a table at work
Very good.
and said free, and me being the kind of guy who was like, okay, free. I grabbed said squash and I said, I'm gonna make stir fry out of you, and I'm gonna make some sort of other concoction with the other one. So I'll tell you more about the other one next week. You heard it here first, folks. Squash. It's delicious. It's kind of like tofu. It kind of takes the flavor of whatever.
Have you ever used one of those veggetti makers?
Wow.
It's-
That sounds graphic.
Yeah.
No, listen.
Yes, I have.
It's like a vegetable like spiralizer, and it's like a little handheld
Oh
thing.
yeah.
And it turns your like zucchini
It
and
turns any
squash
vegetable into a noodle.
into a nude.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
How cool is that? Because you could just totally layer with all the meat
Oh my
sauce you
God,
ever
it's
wanted.
so good.
That's pretty ingenious.
Yeah, because you can eat as much of it as you want. It's like 35 calories a cup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you just fill up on it. And
So
all you gotta
good.
do, the whole thing about eating right is just mask healthy foods to
Right.
the point to where they're delicious.
You can make
Right.
anything taste good. You just the number one ingredient. Does anybody know what it is in making food?
Number one
Number
ingredient.
Love.
Love.
Love. You
Texture is
love
not an
it.
ingredient, dude. You threw me off guard.
Yeah, and love's not technically an ingredient either. It's an abstract
No, it is.
ideology.
It
No.
is. If you don't love what you're cooking, then
Love
it's probably
is a
gonna
thing.
taste like shit. You
I
know
love
what I
cooking.
mean?
And if I'm cooking for other people,
Oh, so
you put that love in there.
You do.
You do.
like putting
You know.
all-
You can tell when something's been made with love. Like when somebody really took the time. They
Yeah.
were like, I want to make this beautiful dish for.
I tell you right now, if
whoever."
you ever get a homemade biscuit that's perfectly round, has that split in the middle, and pulls apart,
And it's perfectly golden.
those
Oh.
were made with love.
Love.
I usually stick my entire fist inside of it because it's the only chance I'm gonna get to do that.
A biscuit?
I love it so much. I just want to stick my whole hand in it and just bathe in the biscuit. I just throw it all over me, and there's crumbs, and I just eat it. You don't do that? It's the first biscuit? Just the first one.
No.
Oh, well, that's what we did growing up. That was our ritual. Second biscuit had honey on it.
My biscuits growing up were usually my dad's drop biscuits, as they call them.
Okay, drop
Are
biscuits.
those like fried?
No.
They're a little runnier. You kind of drop them kind of like pancakes, but they
Oh.
grow. They grow different. They're not like pancakes.
Fried
The way you-
biscuits.
Okay,
my favorite.
so like the biscuit with the split in the middle we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the biscuit.
Right.
Let's say that's like what's a high-end Cadillac? That's like the Cadillac of biscuits,
Okay.
right?
Coupe de
alright.
Ville.
I see you.
Then you have your drop biscuits,
Mm-hmm.
or as they call in Kentucky, cathead biscuits.
Okay.
That's a thing.
Usually the size of a tablespoon.
Hold on now. You mix your stuff, but you mix your biscuit mix, and you make it together. The only difference is you don't knead it. and put the rest of that love into it. You just kind of
Alright.
slap it together and throw it on a freaking pan or a skillet and throw it in the oven to bake up. And
Alright.
just slap them in like big lumps around a skillet, and they grow into these biscuits if you make them right.
So, well, let me stop you right there. So they're basically the artisan bread of biscuits.
Yeah, basically, which is pretty much all-purpose flour. Pardon me, all-purpose flour and baking powder and milk or buttermilk. I like buttermilk in my biscuits.
Now, what exactly is buttermilk?
Buttermilk is milk that has had some shit left in it.
It's a little sour.
Oh yeah, it's super bitter. It's like the
Sour.
yeah. Hold on now.
But it is great for
Everybody-
baking.
Let me interrupt you right there.
What are we doing right here now? This is.
We got a little something here.
we've
I
already had one.
apologize, Shelby. I know I came out with a little strong there.
We've already had one.
We've had
two. What are we doing right now?
3 times a lady.
beers number 3.
Beers number 3.
Check, I get a look. Clickety clank clank. We got the Banquet Beer, everybody.
Coors
Coors Golden
Banquet.
Banquet.
Alright.
12 fluid ounces.
Coors Banquet is my go-to everyday beer.
Really?
I love Coors
You're a
Banquet.
Coors
Really?
gal. All right, we're
Yeah.
cool guys.
We were talking about Coors, the Banquet Beer, like 3 or 4 episodes ago, and we thought we would try it one of these times.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at the supermarket today, and I stumbled upon these. They were like $5.49 a 6-pack.
Yeah.
This is. I don't give a shit what's in this bottle. I don't care what it is. It could be piss, and I'm gonna drink it with a smile on my face because it is classy.
This
It's
is
like the perfect hole
I
for
love
a
the little
guy.
stout bottle.
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
a little.
yo, man, I'm drinking. You know, but
cute.
it ain't a 40.
it has a name, the Pony Bottle, I think. It's on the case. It said it on the case.
This is the kind of bottle that if somebody came at you, you've got a weapon. Like this
Hold
is
on.
like this is like Brass Knuckles version of bottling right now.
I just realized we're on beers number 3's on second beer, but we never really talked about the first beer. Like,
Oh, yeah.
gave a
Oh,
rating.
good
Yeah.
lord, we're just talking.
How many brews did you give the
Trucking
first beer?
along.
First beer, I'm getting. I'm in the 4 category.
The 4, yeah.
4.25.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
I think APA. I think the difference between an APA and an IPA seems to be that blast of extra hop flavor at the end.
Yes.
It's a little
I
more
will
subtle.
say I
think.
like the APA way more than I like an IPA. I
You're
don't
not
know.
good-
It's not so like dark tasting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's this
Mhm.
taste that to me, it's like I always thought it tasted like cactus. I've never tasted cactus, but for some reason, hops taste cactusy to me.
I will say, just let's get on the cactus subject real quick. You can eat prickly pear cacti,
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
and it's actually really good. It tastes like green beans.
No
if
pallets?
you ever
Is
see
that-
it,
green
and-
beans.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's like
it's like a fruit. Like you're eating this plant placenta. They taste like an exorbitant amount of green beans. No, thank you.
No,
but it's in
no,
like the
no.
little like Hispanic section of like Walmart, Meijer, Kroger, your local grocery store, whatever.
What's the cut of these though? Like
It's just like peeled, and they just like cut it in like strips.
And you're talking about the cactus, not the actual prickly pear fruit.
Right, not the fruit.
Okay.
No,
the
but
cactus
actual-
itself.
Yes, you can eat that. It
Okay.
tastes like a green bean.
So
Huh.
you cut it probably whatever in like pieces.
Right.
Green
Yeah,
bean
you
size,
dice
of course.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
can
Because
cube it.
what kind of green beans do you prefer? French or standard?
I like the ones that actually have beans in them.
Okay, I can see
So
that.
the French style.
No.
French
No,
style.
the French style ones don't actually have the beans.
Really?
And they don't.
They're very small beans. Like they pick them when the
Oh,
hole
you like
is
the
big.
Italian styled ones.
I like the ones that are actually beans.
He likes the ones
But
where the
they're like-
ends are cut off.
Right, and they're like thicker.
They're a little thicker in the
and
middle.
they've
You're
got,
just
like, the
getting
big
you're
bean.
getting the chunk of bean. You're
Right.
getting that prime
Yeah.
rib.
The actual bean.
Well, the only difference is the French cut is
It's mostly whole.
They just do the whole bean. Yeah,
Right.
That's basically
Well,
the difference, but they're thinner.
It's mostly just the whole of the bean. They pick them when they're. I think they pick them early because you don't actually have giant beans in them. It's just like mostly the.
If you get them just right, if you let them, the thing is about a French cut is you can hurry and get them young, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
If you wait just a day or two and pull them again, they'll be fat like you're getting in the standard bean. But at that point, you've got potential for the tips to be more fibrous, and so they're harder to chew.
Yeah.
Right.
And the longer you keep a green bean on there, the worse it is
Right.
to cook.
I'll eat whatever.
Yeah.
Well, no, harvesting. People don't give enough credit to people who harvest.
I
things
left
properly.
green beans on too late one year, and they all turned purple.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Neat. Very cool.
I don't think it's a good thing. I think
No.
it's from sun poisoning.
Awful. That's terrible.
You son of a bitch.
So what would you rate?
That's all blight.
Oh, the beer, I would give that beer like a 4. A hard 4. I would call that a Saturday night beer. Like, let's say you're sitting around the
Like a
backyard.
sipping beer?
A sipping beer, yes, that's one of the terms I use all the time.
Sipping beer that you can drink about 8 of.
There's sipping beers.
No. You can't drink about 8 of those too. I'm actually.
There's
Yeah, I feel like I just ate a whole loaf of bread.
in terms of the IPAs and the APAs, there's sipping beers and there's smoking beers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like some of the IPAs,
Yeah.
Almost like a bourbon.
you gotta have a smoke with it.
Yeah.
I'm talking like a backwoodsman honey cigar. Or
Oh,
something.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's like you're sitting there drinking scotch almost. you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
There's so much flavor. It's just like, bam, and it's like punching you in the dick and the mouth at the same time.
Some of us like that. Not me. I was just saying.
Right, no, never.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You punched me in the face and. Well, I don't know how I'm gonna react. It's been a while.
So what would you give that beer that you
Right.
brought?
Yeah. So I'm not really big into pale ales at all. Any kind. American or India. So I'm gonna give it a 4, honestly. Like, I could drink that beer again.
Yeah.
I'm kinda down with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what's funny about all this: is why are there only 2 nations that have created the pale ale? Why isn't there not the Asian pale ale?
Right.
Like their chances
Or the
there.
British.
There's
The
over
British.
a billion Chinese people.
There are.
Right.
Is it just the Chinese that there's like a billion of? Not of all of Asia. All of Asia's probably 2.
Right.
And it's like a whole lot of people, and none of them have come up with their own pale ale. They're just relying on India, on the eastern part of the world.
Right.
That's probably not true. I'm sure there's so many
Right.
regionalisms and regional beers and stuff. And
Oh yeah, beer like it's the market's oversaturated. Like,
Hey everybody,
ridiculously.
I can take these microbial things and turn them into a drink that gets you drunk. And they're like, hey, that's cool. You can do that with how much? Like $50. Okay.
All I need's a bucket.
Yeah, there's one guy that's willing to do it, and there's 20 guys willing to drink it. Guys meaning people, of course. I had to
Dudes.
explain it to my daughters the other day. I was talking about something general, and I was like, blah, 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 history of mankind, blah, blah, blah. Man did this thing, and they're like, man only did that? And I was like, no, I mean people. Like, I was like,
Right.
man is a generality for human.
Right.
So it's funny because mankind, yeah. So it's interesting when that whole thing comes up, especially with my kids who are in no way political and no
Right.
way really
They're
kind of
still so innocent.
innocent,
so
pure.
Yeah.
To hear their version of why did you say man
Right.
is like it's a generalized statement. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm the same way with the word dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people don't like that. And then that's kind of one of them subjective things, you know.
I've noticed that at the tattoo shop, like talking to customers even, like I'll be like, yeah, man, we can totally do, like I'll use the man, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
yeah,
just-
man, we can totally,
And in passing,
Mhm.
right. Yeah, and then I
Like,
realize
yeah.
I'm talking to like 6 females, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I can totally relate to that for sure.
it's an interesting thing. I have 2 daughters, so I talk to them just like people.
Right.
To me,
Because you're just a normal human being.
yeah, like I call them dude and man and everything. Under
You
the
call
sun.
your
Right.
kids whatever the hell you want to call them.
Yeah,
That's like part of the fun of having a
Right.
kid.
yeah, exactly.
Like I call my kid Turd all the time. He's my turd.
You tell your kid they smell like farts.
Hey, you smell like farts. You know.
You know?
And
I can't wait to have kids just for that reason alone.
hey, just wait. You know, once you get them to the age where you can kind of get them to do your dirty work, you start seeing the future there. The sky's the limit. The future is wide open.
I saw this Facebook video the other day, and it was this guy, and he was just laying in his bed watching his TV, and he called his son in just to hand him the remote that was like 2 feet away.
Classic.
It was awesome. It's so awesome.
That's the way the world should be.
Right.
You know, it's a hierarchy. Like, hey, I'm just doing this to give you a little hair tussle, and you get to do it someday when you get older.
Right.
In a more creative, futuristic, 20 years from now sort of way, which will probably be world domination of robots.
I just can't wait till my kid's old enough to mow my yard for me because I'm so freaking tired. I've been mowing the yard since I was 7.
Right.
7.
Right.
You gotta Tom Sawyer it though. You gotta make it like seem really fun.
I'm not
Stop
putting my lawnmower
complaining.
on the river.
First of all, stop complaining about it. Look like it's so exciting that your kid's like, man, my dad really loves cutting the grass.
There's no.
I used to think my dad was vacuuming the yard.
There's no.
Is
good
it not
way.
the same thing?
Right.
Let's be honest.
Right.
You are vacuuming the yard
Yeah.
with a very dangerous blade spinning that could kill you at any moment, or at least chop off your ankles.
There's
Right.
there's no good way to make push mowing a half an acre look fun.
Yeah, I mean...
There are substances.
Drinking beer for sure. but
There you go. Would
But
you
when
drink
it's-
a middle finger?
when it's 110 degrees out, heat index.
First of all, how sociopathic are you making it? I guess it depends on what the overhead is.
What are the
Is it-
variables?
Yeah, is it psychopathic?
The sun is balls
sociopathic?
down. The sun is balls down on your back, and you're mowing a half an acre with a push mower. That's not self-propelled.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
The next step would be to have your son out there with you and tell him that, son, one of these days, Dad is gonna blow his brains out because of this job.
No, I don't think I'll do that.
And basically go Bukowski on your son.
True.
So he's like, God dang it. Mowing this grass sure is the American dream, though, isn't it, Pop? And you're like, sure is. And that's how your life is. Because it was the American dream in 2018.
Mowing the yard is the American dream in 2018. You, sir, are full of shit.
Think about it, though. In 20 years, being able to mow your own grass.
Ground is going to be a premium in 20 years.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I mean
for
that.
sure.
I mean that with, I mean,
People are going to be like selling out their backyards like before too long.
it's going to become a point to where, like, mowing grass is going to be something that only the elite can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, oh, did you hear about him? He's got grass stains on his shoes. He mowed a lot that was 10 by 10. I heard they had carrots growing in it. Yeah, that's what's going to be like. The new American dream is going to be the idea of just earth. Because I think we're getting
Yeah.
so pulled away from the soil
Oh, yeah, for sure.
that we are basically sanitizing our insides and outsides.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the idea of the minerals around us that we need more than anything to survive, we've somehow evolved past.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the next stage.
Yeah. Is that evolution or is that by necessity?
I think it's a little bit of both.
You ever had the moment in your life where you just like hate society and anything and everything and you just, fuck it, I'm gonna move to a river? You ever had that feeling?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. You know, it seems like a good idea. And in a lot of ways, I totally would. But the thing is, as well, is I like the Douglas Adams quote, where I don't know, I'm not going to quote him, but the idea of
Paraphrase?
a toaster, how simple a toaster seems,
Mm-hmm.
but yet without the right people to build the elements of the toaster, how simple is it? And so there was this guy on NPR that had talked about this, where he actually took the time to build his own toaster within a 6-month period. He went and found the right stuff, the right metal to get made into wires,
Mhm.
blah, 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 went through the whole process. And when he did, it was something that would just like basically blew up as soon as he plugged it in. But he realized how simple the toaster is to us as an individual, but it's something that we create as a super organism. We as society create the simple toaster.
Yeah.
We have the right people, the right tools, the right methods to go put it on the put it on the line. It's created. Everybody's got a toaster.
Well, no, some dude 70 years ago had the idea for the toaster and was like,
Yeah.
this is something I came up with. And he sold it to somebody. Like, this is great. We're going to produce 1 billion of them and make 20 other offshoot umbrella corporations. And that's why there's so many toasters.
So many toasters, so little time. Have you? When's the last time that you purchased a toaster?
I haven't because it still works.
Yeah, I use my oven. I don't use a toaster.
Use your oven. Is it gas or electric?
Electric?
That's a lot of.
That's a
room.
lot. You know, okay, hold on.
How much
I'm
bread?
feeling so judged about using my oven right now.
How much toast are you toasting at once? Like a full.
Like 2 sheets, two pieces for breakfast on a Thursday. That
On a
one week
375 in
during
your
the
giant oven. You
Yeah.
might as well use a skillet.
Take a skillet, put some butter in it, throw your bread down, flip it over a couple times, and fry it like it's a grilled cheese, and you got a
Well,
fried
but
toast.
then you're frying it. You're not toasting it.
But
You're
it's so much
frying-
better.
Oh,
Well, of course it is. It's fried.
You damn
And
right.
I love fried food. I agree
Who doesn't
100%.
love fried food?
But when you're toasting something, like when
Bad
I'm
people,
making
is it?
breakfast for somebody, right? I use the oven because it toasts it.
But see, what you need is a toaster oven because it's a smaller space.
But I don't have
no. What she
room
needs
for a toaster
is a
oven.
toaster.
What we all need is a toaster oven, though. Am I right?
No.
Let's be for real. You
I have an
put a
air fryer. An air fryer is the
Oh
best.
God, I want one of those
Okay,
so
yeah.
bad.
Okay, you win.
I
you
want
win.
one of those
I
so
cook
bad.
everything in those. I'm telling you.
What
I'm telling
works?
you.
Okay, tell me us
I'm
about it.
telling you. I'm talking French fries and pizza rolls and popcorn chicken and chicken nuggets.
Okay, and it's cooking it like it's fried?
Yes.
Dude, everything comes out. Okay.
Okay,
It's-
hold on.
It's
Oh.
got
But
a
you
dial.
only use like 2 tablespoons of like oil, or you don't use oil at all?
None.
None?
Is it like moisture heat?
Allow me to blow your mind.
Yeah, please.
An air fryer is a
Blow me.
contraption. You have an electric range.
Right.
You have an electric range.
Yes.
Oh, really?
I'm yes, boy. How do you think I did that walk so well?
Right. You can tell by the way I use my walk.
I'm a stir fry man.
Anyways, what was I talking
Vegetables
about?
can talk.
Yeah, what was I talking about? Shit.
Air fryer.
Air fryer.
Air fryer.
Right.
It's pretty much an electric range element that you keep your saucepan on, whatever, but it's flipped upside down, and then it's got a fan above it.
So it's like a convection fryer.
Kind of. But you put your stuff in the basket, and the basket has like holes and a recessed bottom and heat.
Because it's a basket.
First of all, no, the way you've just described it. Have you ever seen those like anti-gravity rooms or like the flight suit rooms?
Right.
Sure.
That's what it sounds like to me already.
Oh, wow.
You're wearing the parachute outfit and you're like floating around this hot air.
So your French fry is
Yeah, your
wearing...
French fry.
No,
It's like-
no. It's not like that. It's
Oh.
pretty much like you got 50 people in like a basket, and then like there's just like a heating element and then a fan
Like a blow dryer.
blowing the heat on
Yeah.
it the whole time. But then it's like raining heat, and then it goes in the holes in the basket and radiates. It goes down through the bottom and comes back around.
Right,
It was
so it can
sounding-
get everything.
You sound like a wrestler explaining
Ooh.
the heat comes
Once I get the chicken nuggets in the basket, I put it in the air fryer and I set it at 400 degrees for 10 minutes, and then at a 5-minute mark, I pull the basket and I shake it. Ooh, I shake it real good, and I put it back in for 5 more minutes. And after 5 minutes, everything's all brown and crispy, and I pour it on a plate, but then I gotta wait 20 minutes to eat it because it's so goddamn hot. But it is hella crispy. Hella crispy.
Hell yeah.
What? You know, here's
I
the thing.
want one.
Here's the thing about that is, like I was saying earlier about ingredients in food being texture.
Mhm.
The thing about fried is, why does fried work?
It's crispy. The crunch,
Oil.
the
What does the
crispy.
oil do?
It gets
Physically.
so hot.
It gets so hot, but what's the thing about it that's so perfect?
It's science, dude, okay?
No. Picture
Science.
the heat being like, it is controlled heat
Mm-hmm.
that sits at 350 degrees
Yeah.
comfortably.
Yeah.
They're able to do that with air, so that's basically like this new science to where
Right.
they're doing exactly what the oil did, which was stay in one place, stay hot, controlled. They're doing that with air instead of with that.
I
oil.
tell you,
it's brilliant.
I
dude.
love it. I love the damn
It's
thing.
fantastic. That's
All-
the most genius thing they could
How
come
much
up
is
with.
one of those?
They're probably pretty like reasonable now because it's been like they came out. They were huge last Christmas, so they probably came out about October, September, and they were huge for Christmas. And I got one for Christmas, and I've been using it ever since. So they're probably about $40.
It's the NES
What?
classic of fryers.
Oh, I'm getting one tomorrow.
Yeah, what?
As soon as Big Lots opens.
They
Yeah.
probably have them.
My favorite way to cook a lot of things is to braise them. Do you know how to braise?
Oh,
My favorite way to cook
braising
a
meat.
lot of things is to drink it.
It's true. It's true, folks. But for real, do you know how to braise things? You
I
obviously
do.
That's I'm trying to remember here. Braise is like, don't you sear it and then put it in the oven?
Kind of. But what you do is saute it or sear it, add liquid, steam it.
Right.
Oh yes.
My favorite way to cook vegetables.
So
my
you
favorite
get
way
it
to cook
crispy.
chicken,
You get it crispy to soften it back up.
and to kind of
Juicify it.
reconstitute the juices. within
Right.
it.
Juicify it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, because as it's awesome.
It's congealing.
Yeah.
Miscongealing.
Coalescing.
Starring Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock's.
Well,
Did anybody else drink this beer like water?
Yeah.
After we drank
What beer? I thought it
AMA?
was water.
I thought that was like
Right.
a root beer.
Right.
Well, for reals, Beers Numbers 4s is happening, but
I think
it's
so.
only because of the.
But I
size.
think this episode is going to draw to a close because we're already at the 1 minute and 1 hour 14 and a half minute mark.
It's 1 minute 14 seconds when we speed it up.
So
Times 10.
that's true.
That would be fun.
But I'm not going to go through the effort to do that because
I like to do it on the snaps.
I know because you got an iPhone, you son of a bitch.
Do you know why I like to do that? It's because it perfects my flaws. When things are double speed,
It sounds
that
great.
Great.
Okay. But anyways, I think this episode's drawn to a close.
Yeah, thanks for coming again, Shelby.
Yeah,
Shelby
thanks for having
Raia.
me, for
We're
sure.
gonna do this
Rhea,
again.
I like it. It's fine. It's good.
Like Rhea Perlman.
Like-
Shelby Rhea Perlman.
Ah.
With an I, not an
I can handle that. Now, did you ever watch the Rhea Perlman show?
No, but I watched a lot of Cheers.
Of course. Fraiser guy?
Fraiser, come on.
That went on even longer than Cheers somehow.
Only the
Somehow, you're
yuppies
right.
watched Fraiser.
Only the yuppies watch Frasier is total bullocks. That's total Sandra Bullocks. Because that was a pretty blue collar, white collar, powder blue collar.
Oh yeah, sure. A psychiatrist living in a huge metropolitan city in a freaking expensive ass high-rise apartment is just gonna spread over the spectrum of the work people.
Metro Niles. Metro Niles alone was a reason for guys at that time period.
No,
to
the
go,
reason
he's kind of like me. He's kind of into chicks, but I don't know.
the reason anybody watched that show was for Frasier's dad with his dog because Frasier and his brother were both bitches. Let's accept it. But the dad was like, "You guys are both bitches," and everyone's like, "Yeah, I agree with that guy."
Oh, which is totally true.
And he's got a dog, so he's freaking trustworthy as hell.
But that's the kind of the thing I like about a show like that is they're adults. He's a freaking psychiatrist, dude.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to have it all figured
With
out.
a radio show.
Yeah.
You're
but he's-
talking about Frasier stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, just a little side story. I watched like the Real Housewives show because I love
Which
trash TV.
city?
Beverly Hills because that's what
Oh
Frasier
Lord,
said.
I'm sure that's great.
Yeah. Was his wife?
Yes,
Kelsey Grammer's
Camille.
wife?
Camille
Wow.
Grammer, yes.
Oh.
And she's in it, and he is so shitty to her. It's kind of awesome.
Kelsey Grammer's here right now.
Uh oh,
He
shit.
has something to say to you. He has something to say to you.
I don't think so. Well,
Oh,
maybe
well-
we should cut this off before he gets too animated.
Yeah, we're not going to answer the story till the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks again for joining us on Dudes
Tunes?
And brews and
and
brews.
Brews.
Dudes.
Dudes.
Tunes
And Brews.
and brews.
We're dudes.
Dudes.
Listen to tunes.
Listen to tunes.
Drink some brews.
Drinking some brews.
We're dudes.
We're dudes.
Listen to tunes.
Listen to tunes.
And drink some brews.
And drinking some brews.